Alright, so Peanut Gallery back again for another Battlefield Spectacular.
Yay!
We got Ceramic here.
And Sploosh. And, okay, so let's jump into this. We did a part 1, talked about some cool things, link in the video. Like to hit some more topics, some fun stuff. You know, just if you want to comment on things we're saying, go ahead. Love to hear what you have to say. But I'd like to talk about the game modes. I was going to start with Conquest since I personally have played a lot and we've talked, and Ceramic hasn't done as much with the Conquest. But I just want to say, if you like vehicles and you like points, Conquest is for you. I feel like you could actually rename Conquest to something like Road Rage or like Road Clash or Twisted Metal or something, and I would be cool with it because I don't feel much gun-on-gun is going on in Conquest. It might be an overpopulation of vehicles. Like when there's two tanks, there maybe could have just been one, you know?
Yeah.
And then that way the tank is more like a focal point, but it's not like two tanks versus two tanks and there's two jets and there's a helicopter. So what is that? 4 people in the tanks, 6 adding in the helicopter, 8 with the planes. That leaves like most games. I've just noticed most games aren't full. I'm sure when you're a solo guy, you're finding full servers, but because we play in squads a lot, we're forced into joining servers with less than full because we don't want to be having people on the other team and getting frustrated. You just never know what's going to happen with joining a server with like 20 people in it. And not only that, but the game won't even let you put like 3 people in a 20-person server because it'll actually imbalance the game because it'll be impossible for the other team to ever be balanced. See what I'm saying?
That's just because there's no lobby system. Like, you're just in the server.
Yeah,
if there was a lobby, if there was some type of lobby thing, you'd be able to have your squad get in the server and the game would balance out before the match. But no, you have to be, you're just constantly in the server.
That is a really good point. If there was some kind of like hold on mode, but maybe it could be optional, like I'm willing to wait mode or something.
And that just goes to another topic of like the teams don't rotate. Like you're constantly on the same team.
Right.
If you're getting raped,
you're getting
keep getting raped.
Yeah.
Because the teams don't rotate, and even in Call of Duty, like you could go two games at the top guy. And then the next game, he's on your team. So you don't feel like, you're just horrible.
I've seen teams auto-balance, but I think it might be because people are actually changing teams. I think that auto-balance is something PC gamers are used to. And I don't know, does Call of Duty ever auto-balance? I don't know.
In the match?
In the match, no, but after the match it does. Yeah, okay, so it does it in
pre-lobby.
That's why you... I get you, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Rush, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just a big Rush fan because I play a lot of solo because my schedule with other people's schedules, it doesn't really line up.
Yeah, you're an early bird.
The thing for me is vehicles are intimidating, so just to have a sprinkle of vehicles in Rush is enough for me. And the thought of Conquest is a little overwhelming for me. I'm a little frightened squirrel when it comes to that. I mean, I'm sure I'll get over it if I play with more people, but just being a solo person, Rush is just kind of more my speed. I like going for objectives. Team deathmatch just ends up boring the hell out of me. But I like the ability to be part of a squad that actually does something.
It's really obvious that in Rush, they cut the vehicles down. There's maps where there's one Jeep on the attacking side, which really pisses me off. Especially if that Jeep doesn't get destroyed and is sitting in the enemy base.
Before we even... My biggest gripe with Rush, I don't know if they can fix this, but once the points are taken and you move on to the next area of the map, why can't our spawn be an off-limits to the other team? Like, I can't stand when people just sit back,
the attackers
3 sectors behind, and just snipe. Like, I guess in the real world that will happen, but...
Yeah.
It just seems like a horrible balance issue that was never addressed. Because you're dealing with the anonymity of the internet and people are assholes, so they're gonna just hang back and get as many kills as possible.
Yeah, dude, I gotta just say this, because you really bring up a huge point for me with Rush. I play with some people who are good players, and I personally, everybody I play with generally holds like a 2 KD in this game. I'm just saying, all right? And there's games on Rush where the attacker makes no effort to win. They just snipe, and they're not just sniping, but they're like ridiculously far back. Like, just picture Metro, the first stage. where you spawn and there's like that brick wall and it's like nothingness for miles.
Yeah.
And I kind of this is just me, and maybe you could just say this is something wrong with me, but I don't like sniping ever. It's kind of like this weird thing I have in my head where I just refuse to be a sniper. I don't know. I just have this thing about snipers where I think they're kind of cowards. And
we come from the same school.
Let me tell you something. How do I say this? We definitely win the game, all right, because we're on defense. But like I go .9 KD in that game, and I have like 9 deaths, and I'm just so mad.
Yeah.
Because in my heart I want to win. I want to run around. I don't want to be a camper. I'm trying to play in a high spirits, and nothing brings us down faster than playing a team that does this. And it happens all the time. You see people recon beaconing onto some stupid island on Metro, and like there's 3 snipers on some random island. The only way to get to them is either to snipe, which defeats the whole point of the game as far as I'm concerned in that situation, or to just basically do nothing because you would have to swim like 8 miles to get to these guys. And that's just an example. I mean, you could do this for any map. And and you can't even go to them because they're out of bounds. Like out of bounds is the best security guard they got.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Listen, I actually like Rush, but that is infuriating.
I understand, like, once the point has been taken, there's that grace period before the attackers see where the next points are. I think maybe a minute, maybe that might even be too much. Then it becomes an out-of-bounds area for the opposing team, because that's your spawn now.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I didn't quite get it, but it's like the attackers need to have an out-of-bounds in their own respawns, like, behind their respawn. So at least they're forced to move somewhere.
Because if in the first zone, if you can't go to their spawn, why can you just go to their spawn in each progressive zone after that?
Yeah. I've played very little Team DM. I actually think I played like 2 games of it, and
I haven't touched it.
The spawns seem ridiculously random. I've seen that complaint too. Mortars are actually kind of funny on it. If you can find a spot and your team's like spot happy, it's pretty goofy. You haven't tried mortars, huh?
I haven't unlocked it yet.
You literally drop the mortar and you get this giant map. And on the map you don't see anything but your teammates and draw it spotted.
So what's, like a predator missile type thing?
No, it goes up and it goes down.
Right, but does it look like the Harrier Strike in Call of Duty, where you just see on the map?
Kind of. It's like, don't get too deep into that. But no, it's just it becomes inaccurate the further you shoot, but you can basically almost shoot anywhere on the map.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, and it's really boring, but it's kind of fulfilling to just see kills randomly. And like, there's something fun about knowing someone's pissed. On just a tangent, but I mean, we had like one friend in our squad accidentally gets bumped onto the opposite team, and he was just bitching the entire time because he's like, "Are you mortaring me the whole game? What the?" He kept getting wounded but not killed by it, so he'd keep removing, and then I keep mortaring where he moved. He'd go in a building and I'd blank the building, so he'd run out of that building and go to another building, and that building would get blown up. He's like, "What the?" Like, I think I killed him like 3 times in like a 30-minute game, but just that constant bombardment, he was getting like shell shocked, like Patton was whacking his helmet with his glove. Moving on, I just want to really quick to talk about squad TDM. We had 4 players and we were all like super hyped in our heads. This was going to be like the most fun possible. It's 4v4 v4 v4. It was horrible because we all joined the game. It was like a game with like, I want to say 14-ish people. I don't know. 12 something. No, it was like 11 or 10-ish.
Yeah.
When we joined, we were all on a different squad. One of us on each different squad.
And you joined as a squad.
So I won. Yay. But everyone else got a loss. And I felt like such an asshole. I was like, sorry guys. And we couldn't switch teams. It was a mess. Like, why? I don't know. Like, I picture squad TDM is going to be like, you join, Alpha Squad gets filled up. You join Bravo Squad. You join Charlie. It wasn't like that at all. It was like just randomly throwing dudes in squads. So, let's say, for example, there was like 8 people in the game, but there's 1 person in every squad. Then our party of 4 could never be in the same squad.
Yeah.
Fail much?
Epic.
Anyway, what was something I thought you wanted to bring up? Unlocks?
we can get to unlocks, but just since we're talking about maps and stuff,
Yeah.
I did play a lot of Bad Company, and I know it's pretty much hated, like, unanimously in the Battlefield community, but I've noticed a lot of similarities in map design from maps from the previous one, and not just, like, you know, textures and whatnot, but I'm talking about actual layouts of maps are almost just picked from maps from the previous game.
Really?
Like, they're completely, even like bottlenecks where buildings are and everything, I'm like, this is like the same map.
Really?
Yeah.
Any names you could come up with? Or?
I know. There's a spot in the, I think it's the first zone of the Tehran Highway, I think it is, where there's like a series of buildings that's almost exactly like the Eureka Harbor from Bad Company 2. Like, it's almost the same zone. Like, you start, you go up this long road, you're all in vehicles, and then there's this like little group of buildings, and there's a bottleneck in front of it. Like, it's almost the exact same layout. And then there's another map, I don't remember the name, but it's almost like the end part of Eureka Harbor from Bad Company again. Like, the buildings are set up the exact same way. The spawn point is actually on the second level again. It was almost like flashbacks. Like, am I playing this new game or not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with, like, classic maps sometimes are the best maps, so...
But aren't they releasing a map pack of classic maps?
Right? And they're making money off of it?
And they're hyping it like it's the greatest map
sleazy.
pack known to man, and it's just remakes.
And honestly, I played Battlefield 2 a lot, and I don't remember that map being that great, honestly. And it was kind of vehicle dominated because it had a lot of very 90-degree angles. But why don't we talk about unlocks?
Yeah, unlocks. I just my limited time being with service down and my schedule, I just feel it is so much of a grind to unlock stuff in this.
Anything that comes to mind, like a piece of equipment you really wanted?
Well, just getting that next gun, or even, like, I just recently started playing the meta class. Assault. And, like, I feel like I haven't gotten any sight attachments yet. Yet I've gotten the defib, another gun unlocked for me. Like,
are you serious?
I have if I play any other class, I'm getting constant sights or, you know, attachments.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because you're not getting the kills, because you're more like medicing and stuff.
I guess, but it just, I don't know. I see people with like these Uber guns and, like, you know, they're level 20 already, and I think I'm level 9. I just got to level 9 last night, but it just seems like such a huge mountain to climb. And of course, you know, every level that you go through, it's more and more to get to the next level. I just feel like you're not rewarded fast enough, and I know that sounds like such, you know, ADD, like, quick, give me something to keep playing, but, and going back to Call of Duty, at least Call of Duty, it seems like almost every game you play, you're getting something out of it, and these games are so long in Battlefield that it boggles my mind that I've been playing for 45 minutes, and I still have yet to unlock anything, and I'm not fucking at the bottom of the totem pole going 0-4 the whole time. I'm, you know, the top 3.
Yeah,
and I have a lot of points, but it's just, and I'm not like going back from class to class. I'm sticking with one class. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know.
But no, I stick with one class because you want those points.
Right.
It's like brainwashing you. Like, I can't go off of, you know, like sometimes it's like, you know, I'd probably do better right now if I was using like support.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I can't get off support. Or I can't go to support, then I won't get enough engineer points, and I'm really trying to get this thing right now. I hear you. Dude, it's worse with vehicles. I know you're not a vehicle guy, and I am. This is such a dead horse that I'm gonna go quick. Jets, you start with a freaking machine gun, that's it. No flares, and those things are always getting targeted, and you're expected to kill things. And you only get points in vehicles. In a jet, you can't cap a point with a jet.
Right.
So you gotta kill something with your stupid little machine gun and no flares, and you don't know how to fly. So that's a dead horse. I'm just gonna leave that. Anyone listening that even remotely likes jets knows exactly what I'm saying. It's gonna just say amen, brother. You know, but
I mean, maybe I'm doing something wrong, and if I am, post a comment or something. But I feel like I'm playing pretty much the same way I played in Bad Company 2, and I was getting stuff unlocked pretty regularly in that. I didn't feel like this was tedious or anything like that. And don't get me wrong, I love the game, but it just feels like it just takes forever to get to that next step. And the game is huge. Like, if you just want to do vehicles, you can just do vehicles. You get unlocks just for vehicles if you want. Like, there's
But
so,
no,
there's
people
so
are
many
always
avenues.
fighting over vehicles. The helicopters, you start with nothing, and man, dude, we used that little bird helicopter, and a friend of mine was healing me while I was in it. I mean, luckily he was healing me through this, but we took like 5 stingers in about 10 seconds, and that might even be generous. It might be more than that. And I have no flares. Then another helicopter gets in the air, and he's shooting rockets at me, targeting lock-on heat-seeker missiles.
Right.
And I've got nothing. And I'm expected to go out and kill somebody, and I don't know what they expect me to do, but I think their expectations were a little too... I think they went a little too far. Give everybody flares. Cut it off right there. Bam. Give everybody flares. You're done. Every pilot in the world would just... Yay!
I almost think that they saw what Call of Duty was doing with like the gun XP and stuff like that. That they said, oh, we gave people like too much stuff. If we break it up, we can make it kind of more like that, where they can level up each individual thing that they want to get to. But I don't know. It just feels a little tedious for me.
Well, and then I mean, obviously you don't lose your unlocks, right? I mean, it's not like Call of Duty, but there's just almost like a feeling of cheating then, right? Because now you...
Just real quick, when you get an unlock, for me, it just automatically puts it on the gun.
Yeah.
I don't want... So if I'm using the M16 or whatever, and I unlock ACOG, which I think is a horrible scope, it's going to put it on automatically. It's just some option I'm missing.
Is there an option? Because actually I was complaining today because I was getting vehicle unlocks and they weren't getting put on automatically.
I don't know if they do it for vehicles, but I just know that I was playing Engineer last night, and I unlocked an ACOG for, I think, the 74U. And it put the ACOG on there. I didn't even choose to do that.
Dude, I might be alone in this, but I'm sure there's someone out there that's saying amen. I get an unlock for a vehicle, and then I forget to put it on for like 3 deaths.
Right.
Because first, I don't die for like 10 minutes. And then when I do die, I'm so thinking about what I'm going to do, where I'm going to spawn, if I'm going to help this guy, what points we need. And then every single time I spawn, I'm like, damn it, I forgot to equip blah, blah, blah. First of all, if you have nothing in that slot, put it in there automatically. I swear it's done that for me before. But then all of a sudden, today, I played for like 3 hours. I unlocked like tons of stuff for the helicopter, and none of it got put in automatically. And I had no helicopter unlocks.
Like, I unlocked the laser sight, which I never use, and boom, it's on my gun. Like, I don't want it on my gun.
Yes.
I know. So then I have to wait till I die and then turn it off.
Yeah, and then you forget. I had the wrong sight on my engineer gun for like 6 games in a row. That's how ADD I am. All right. I think we should call it here.
Yeah, I think that's a good enough.
That's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us. We do this with lots of games. We're huge gaming fans, and
huge gaming fans.
I think, yeah, I'm just glad you're listening, and hope you have a good rest of the time. Enjoy Battlefield 3.
We love doing it, so we're not really going anywhere.
Yeah.
Later.
Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bye.